In the humble village of Isabaya, nestled beneath a canopy of ancient baobab trees, lived a family bound by love but shackled by poverty. Themba and Nondi, though poor, had hearts overflowing with hope for their only son, Sipho, whose bright mind and determination lit up their otherwise challenging lives. The village buzzed with excitement as news of Sipho's university graduation spread. The son of a farmer had achieved what many only dreamed of, a degree in business administration, with honors no less. When Sipho received a job offer from a prestigious company in the city, it felt as though the ancestors themselves had smiled upon his family. One evening, as the family gathered under the soft glow of an oil lamp, Sipho shared the news. His father, Themba, placed a firm yet tender hand on his son's shoulder. "My boy, you've made us proud. You have brought honor to this family and to our ancestors." Nondi cupped Sipho's face, her voice trembling with emotion. "Sipho, your success is our greatest blessing. Go with our love, and remember, no matter how far you go, your home is here." Sipho, fighting back tears, vowed, "I will never forget you, mother, father. I will make you proud and repay your sacrifices." The day before Sipho's journey to the city, he decided to visit his uncle, Mandla, who lived on the outskirts of the village. Mandla welcomed him with a smile that didn't reach his eyes and offered him a cup of palm wine, insisting it was a token of good fortune. But the drink was tainted with bitterness, both in taste and intent. Hours later, Sipho staggered home, clutching his stomach in agony. He collapsed at the doorstep, his cries shattering the night's stillness. Nondi cradled her son as Themba frantically called for help. But no healer could mend what was broken. As dawn broke, Sipho's strength waned. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I wanted to give you a better life." Nondi's tears fell onto his pallid face. "You already have, my son. You've made us proud." With his mother's words echoing in his ears, Sipho's spirit departed, leaving his parents in inconsolable grief. Sipho's soul lingered, tethered by unfinished promises. Lost in the liminal space between worlds, he encountered Gogo Nomsa, a wise old woman who communed with spirits. "Why do you wonder, child?" she asked, her voice like the rustling of leaves. "I failed my family," Sipho replied. "I cannot rest." Gogo Nomsa took pity on him. With her sacred herbs and chants, she restored Sipho to life, but not without warning. "You've been given a second chance, Sipho. Do not squander it. Fulfill your promises and honor your family." Reborn with purpose, Sipho worked tirelessly, climbing the ranks of the corporate world. His hard work bore fruit, and he became a wealthy and accomplished man, sits in his luxurious office, surrounded by symbols of success, a sleek desk, city lights twinkling through tall windows, and accolades lining the walls. Yet, his expression is distant, his eyes clouded with unease. The weight of his mysterious rebirth and the truth behind his second chance at life lingers in his mind. Despite his achievements, his restless heart and the haunting secret gnaw at his soul, casting a shadow over his triumphs. At a glamorous business gala, Sipho's eyes met Sola's, a radiant woman with a captivating presence, sharp intellect, and a warm smile. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, sparking a connection that blossomed into friendship, love, and eventually marriage. Together, they built a joyful life, raising 2 lively children. Yet, despite their happiness, a quiet tension lingered. Zola, curious about Sipho's roots, often asked to visit his village, but Sipho skillfully evaded her request, his smile masking the deeper truth he was reluctant to share. Years passed before Sipho, cornered by Zola's determination, finally agreed to take her and the children to meet his parents. However, before their journey, he introduced Zola as the CEO of his company, a puzzling gesture that Zola brushed aside, chalking it up to his eccentricity. When Zola and her children arrived in Isabaya, the warm welcome she had envisioned was instead met with confusion. The door was opened by an elderly woman, frail yet poised, who regarded them with polite curiosity. "We are here to see Themba and Nondi," Zola said cheerfully. "I am Nondi, and this is my husband, Themba." "Please, come in," the woman replied warmly. "How may we help you, my daughter?" Zola smiled. "My name is Zola. I'm your son's wife." Themba and Nondi exchanged disturbed glances. Themba spoke first, his tone cautious. "I think you might have the wrong house." Nondi's expression froze, her voice trembling as she added, "I am Nondi, but my son Sipho passed away 5 years ago." Zola's heart pounded. "That's not possible. I've been married to Sipho for 5 years. We have 2 children together." At that moment, Mandla, Sipho's uncle, stepped forward from the shadows. His face was heavy with guilt as he said quietly, "It's true. Sipho passed away 5 years ago." The cool morning air weighed heavy as Zola, Themba, and Nondi walked toward the village cemetery. Zola's heart ached with every step, her mind refusing to accept the reality. Her children held her hands, sensing the heaviness in the air. They reached the grave, a simple stone beneath an old acacia tree. "This is where our son rests," Themba said quietly. Zola's breath caught as she read the inscription, "Sipho Themba Makais, 1985 to 2018, beloved son, forever in our hearts." Tears blurred her vision. How could this be? "I've lived with him, loved him." Nondi knelt beside her, gently placing a hand on her shoulder. "We don't understand either, my daughter. But the ancestors guide us in ways we can't always see." With a deep sigh, Themba added, "We must see it for ourselves. We'll go to the city." Zola nodded through her tears, her voice shaky but firm. "Yes. You'll see him. Sipho is alive." The family began to prepare for the journey. Nondi whispered a prayer, while Zola clutched a photo of Sipho and their children, bracing for the answers the city might hold. As the evening sun cast a soft glow, Zola spoke with quiet pride. "You must understand," she began, her eyes bright. "Sipho isn't just my husband, he's become something extraordinary." Nondi and Themba listened closely. Zola continued, her voice filled with admiration. "In the city, he's built an empire, mansions, companies worth millions. People know his name. But what matters most is how he's used his success. He's generous, always giving back, never forgetting where he came from." Tears shimmered in Zola's eyes, but they were tears of love. "Everything he's done for us, for our family and community." Themba and Nondi exchanged a stunned glance. "Our son, to think he's done all this," Themba whispered, awe in his voice. Nondi smiled softly. "He's honored us, no matter the truth. We see his greatness." Zola nodded, her heart full. "Yes. Sipho's success is a testament to where he came from, and he's never forgotten that." The room fell silent, each of them reflecting on the remarkable man Sipho had become, and the journey ahead. In the silence of the mansion, Zola, Themba, Nondi, and the children walked to a room where Zola called out, "Sipho! Sipho!" Her voice shook with a mixture of hope and fear. The door opened to reveal Sipho's decayed body, lying in a lavish bed, untouched for 5 years. The stench of death filled the room. Zola gasped, falling to her knees beside him. "How could this be?" she whispered, reaching for his cold hand. Days later, the family held a second funeral for Sipho, laying his spirit to rest properly. This time, the air was heavy with reverence and finality. Sipho's body lay in a golden casket, its brilliance stuck against the grieving crowd. Zola stood with Themba and Nondi, their hearts weighed down. Villagers murmured prayers to guide Sipho's spirit home. Mandla stepped forward, his voice steady. "May the ancestors guide him home." Suddenly, a thunderous crack tore through the sky. A lightning bolt struck Mandla, and as he staggered, he cried out, "I poisoned Sipho 5 years ago." With his confession, he collapsed, lifeless. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Zola, Themba, and Nondi stood frozen, the truth and the ancestors' wrath settling over them like a storm. As the village gathered to honor him, Zola stood strong, knowing that she and her children carried Sipho's legacy forward. Though her heart ached, Zola left the children with their grandparents, Themba and Nondi, in Isabaya, where they were raised amidst the rich traditions of their father's land. Sipho's story became a lasting tale of love, sacrifice, and the bond between the living and the ancestors, his legacy carried on the winds as a testament to redemption. Thank you for watching, hope you liked the story. Please like, share, and subscribe now for more entertaining and enchanting stories with us. And also comment below, let us know what you think about the story.